kolea zulemu molu balunya kolea dai fama di balava amali mirabang dunia kolea bedula beledo fisada nyodi menna koledo
the Deputy Permanent Secretaries, the Director Generals, the Project Directors, Regional Directors of Department of Agriculture, Technical Service Directors, our friends of China, that's the technical team, good morning. Senior staff of Ministry of Agriculture, good morning. Then FAO representative, Mr. Toure, good morning. It is a pleasure to join you on this very important agriculture sector retreat. We have started, and I want to ensure that at least every 6 months we have such a retreat, Honorable. Okay. Because it will create visibility so that at least the entire nation will know what agriculture is doing. So we have started from 2020. We're going to continue with these meetings and also even senior staff meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, to consolidate the gains made in the attainment of ANR policy, that's 2017-2026, and the National Development Plan 2018-2021, to further enhance the successes, the agriculture sector will continue to drive its transformation agenda with the support of the government and development partners to implement planned activities for the realization of ANR and the NDP, that's the National Development Plan. In the light of above, the sector has witnessed a significant growth both in numbers and size of the portfolio of agriculture projects, which is in testimony of commitments and the prioritization of agriculture by government of the Gambia under the dynamic leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the agriculture sector has programs, and all the programs are important to the sector. Agriculture production linked to market access should be given adequate attention because it will enable us to make contribution to the economy as expected. As a sector, there is a need to increase production in commodities, where we have a comparative advantage. Develop the agribusiness, the subsector, and relook at the poultry and the livestock industry. Yes, livestock services is a big concern with the livestock department. But as I always mention in any of my speak, livestock sector is a priority with the Minister of Agriculture. Even 2019, a lot of support has been given to them, and we will continue to give the same support. In order to sustain biosecurity in respect of livestock industry, there is a need to consider recruiting veterinary doctors and also animal and health specialists. We are considering that so that at least their capacity can be enhanced. Agriculture research continues to be an important research facility that supports our work. NARI should work closely with DOA, that's the Department of Agriculture, to develop technologies that addresses farmers' problems and improve their productivity. And I know the recent acting Director General for NARI, we had a meeting with the board member in the presence of Dr. Sanya. They emphasized that the collaboration has started, and we want to ensure that that collaboration continued. Ladies and gentlemen, financing of agriculture remains an important ingredient for farming. Thanks to the government of the Gambia, especially Finance Ministry and the Agric Select Committee of National Assembly, that's Mr. Cisse and Mr. Silla and others, for the increment of our development budget. And I have urged all of you to plan well in the utilization of the budget. This extra budget is meant to address some gaps as well as develop farmers. I therefore solicit your support participation in the retreat, which will allow us to lay the foundation to treat concerns related to agricultural transformation in the Gambia. On that note, I want us to collaborate together. Agriculture, we are the same family. We need to work together to support each other so that at least we can achieve our objective. So I thank you very much.
Like I always say, agriculture is everybody's business. And the good thing about this workshop is, I think anybody who matters in agriculture today is here present. Although I've not seen the animal health, I don't know whether they're here. Livestock.
We are here.
Okay, all right. So I think in Dr. Sanyan's introduction, he said we should be bold enough to be able to accept criticisms. If you are not able to take criticisms, particularly constructive criticisms, then you cannot go make a headway. We should be able to look at where was agriculture during the First Republic. Towards the end of the First Republic, we had seen, you go to the supermarket in the combos, you can buy basmati rice that was grown in the Gambia. Where did we fail? We should be able to look at all these processes. Where did we go wrong? And how did we go wrong? Right? What measures do we need to put in place to ensure we gain the trust from the farmers? I think basically these are my expectations from this retreat, so that we are able to at least address the problems of agriculture. And together we are able to at least move agriculture from one point to another. This is our objective as a National Assembly Select Committee on Agriculture, and I think I have said this in a lot of gatherings like this. So please, I expect within the next 3 or 4 days, we are able to sit together, look at each other, and tell each other the truth to ensure that agriculture moves from one point to another.
At the impact level, first indicator is reduction in the duration of first rice hungry season. It's in months. The unit of measurement is in months. And at baseline, it was 2.8. The target was to reduce it to 2 months from 5 months. As at our end line, which we have done the end line survey, we are at 1.2 months. This has been reduced even beyond the 2.8 or the 2 months targeted. So that translates to 157% achievement. The second one is reduction in malnourished children, percentage. Target at appraisal is 25%. We have also conducted an end-line survey which captures the malnutrition status of the children. Onion yields at targeted at 8 tons, we are at 14. So rural producer organizations reporting an increase in sales. That is part of the ongoing studies, what we call pre-PCR studies, which is about completed. A consultant is already in the office, and they are doing the analysis of the data that has been collected on this.
We all know it is FASDEP, which is the name of the project, the execution agency MOA, gaps responded. This is the output level reporting. The first component, improve agriculture infrastructure development and management. Sub-component activity 1, that is area of functional tidal irrigation schemes. The appraisal target was 100 hectares new, but there are existing 3,000 hectares. The end target 100 hectares. And this is in line with the GNIP and that of NDP. Subcomponent 2, activity 2, areas access for tidal access schemes. The appraisal target was 500, the baseline 2,127 on the LADEP, and the end target is 10 kilometers causeway to open up 500 hectares. The next is 900 hectares water retention. The appraisal target was 900, and we have achieved that, and it's in line with NDP. The next one is the upland soil improvement and erosion control. The appraisal target 400, the baseline 2,000 on the P1, I think, and then the actual is 400. It's in line with GNIP and NDP. Now, community watershed land use maps plan. It was 5, we achieved that, completed. On the agroforestry, the target was 8, and we achieved 9. And this is in line with GNIP. The next is feeder roads. We have done 100 kilometers of feeder road, and the baseline 120 on the P1, completed. The next one is market access expanded through improved infrastructure. We've done 10 markets completely, and it's in line with GNIP. Under aquaculture, it was 200, but during appraisal, it was reduced to 100, and that is completed. On the small ruminant, you have small ruminant fattening. The target was 30, but we did 31, completed. Small ruminant breeding, 20, and we achieved all the 20. The next is poultry for schools. We have developed 15 poultries for schools, which are in line with both GNIP and NDP.
So basically what I'm going to take you through is a reflection of how far we have gone as far as our 2019 work plan is concerned. Basically at the Department of Livestock Services, we have 2 main directorates, or we work in 2 main areas. That is animal health service delivery and advisory, farmer advisory intended to promote or give farmers appropriate technologies for the management of their livestock to enhance production and productivity. And 2 cross-cutting issues, which is capacity building, in short training and infrastructure improvement. As I said, these 2 broad areas that we engage in, starting with production, which is basically facilitating the adoption of improved technology in animal husbandry, such that production and productivity in the various species or major species that we deal with is enhanced. We, over the period under review, have been able to make an assessment of how that has gone, in terms of production or in poultry meat, that is what we call broiler production. These are the figures that we are able to come up with. We can see over 101 tons were produced during the period under review from across the country. When it comes to egg production, which is layer production, those are the figures that we have across the country. In the various regions, you can see the quantities. So these are just pictures of some of the farms that we have been working with. And look at that, this is who, I hope you can recognize this guy. He went to visit one of the biggest poultry farms that we have in the country and in the Combo areas. That's the president. So these are poultry farms that are operating, commercial poultry farms that are operating in the country, that are producing a lot. I mean, all geared towards meeting the demand in terms of poultry meat and eggs. And when it comes to small ruminant production, we have been working with many projects as implementing partners. Our most known one, or our best partner, being Dpt. Over the years, we have been working with them in improving small ruminant production in the country. The project was designed such that the number of people that are involved in small ruminant production across the country are increased. Likewise, the productivity is also increased. This figure that you see here is indicating the total number of schemes, that's in the middle, this one, of schemes that the projects have supported. The Dpt project has supported over the, for the past few years. But then this project is structured such that every year we have new beneficiaries coming from the initial beneficiaries. So we had made a lot of progress in this. You can see this table showing you further the total number of new beneficiaries that were created in the year under review. So this is just a summary of how the whole thing looks like with P2RS.
When we come to the economic importance of agriculture, we all know, but it's just a matter of refreshing our minds. It's all about food security, to increase income of farmers, as well as to reduce poverty. Basically, these are the three most economic importance of agriculture. Okay, now looking to the second phase of the presentation, actually looking into the welfare of staff. Actually, when I assumed office in November last year, I went to the regions to familiarize myself with the agricultural regions and the technical units. And based on that, I developed my objectives, as you can see. One is to meet the regional directors and team, plus the unit heads, so that we can discuss on issues related to agricultural development or agriculture, and also to look into the challenges and way forward. I came up with a slogan that all of us are one family, we are one people and one department. And this is the only way forward, or way out, that we can move this sector to a higher height. So in that, I came up with three priority areas. My first priority is the farmer. We want to look into the farmer to see how best their lives and livelihoods can be improved. The second priority area is the staff welfare, to see how best staff can be motivated. And the third one is looking at the whole Department of Agriculture. As most of the speakers mentioned, our name has been tarnished based on certain reasons. So based on that, I came up with these three priority areas. So you will see as we go along. After the familiarization tour, I tried to organize a mini retreat last year. This was held in February, where I converged with my staff to discuss and exchange ideas, challenges and way forward, and also to formulate the annual work plan and budget, which we actually did. And we tried to make improvement on it through the MLE plus Francis. We submitted, but we have not received any funds to implement some of those activities as we speak now. And the third one is at least to foster mutual understanding and a good working relationship. That's the only way forward that we can bring positive results, by having common understanding and a good working relationship. So when it comes to staff promotion, actually we develop a criteria to see how our staffs who were not promoted for quite a long time, we see how best they can be promoted. And actually we base it on relevant qualification, experience, commitment, and length of service. So this was done in consultation with my team, that's the regional directors and some of the technical directors. In the month of November, December, staff regularization was an issue. In fact, this was the biggest challenge I encountered when I came to office. Some of the staff, their salaries were blocked because they were not following the rightful procedures of training. So I developed an ad hoc committee chaired by the admin director. A report was submitted to me, and we submitted to PMO. As of now, the staffs who were actually affected at that time were in terms of confirmation, study leave with salary, and signing of bond. And as we speak now, if not 100%, but at least 85% of the staff have now regularized their status. So when it comes to upgrading, training, and appointment of staffs, as you can see on board, about 71 staffs this year have been promoted at different cadres. For induction training, this year I was able to conduct an induction training, which was not happening for quite a long time. So when it comes to scholarship, you can see on board, this year we are able to secure some scholarships for our staff. Then when it comes to field activity, this year we are able to distribute 600 metric tons of fertilizer through the KR2 funds. We develop a system in consultation with the regional director. After all sales, the amount accrued from the sales is close to 7 million. And this money has been deposited to the KR2 account 2 weeks ago. So for groundnuts, through the consultations with the regional directors, we are able to supply groundnut seeds to our farmers in various regions.
The agency was created by an act of parliament in 2008, but operation started only in 2010. It is mandated to promote the commercialization and marketing of livestock in the country and to facilitate the participation of Gambians in the marketing of livestock. So in performing this mandate, the agency facilitates, regulates, and promotes the livestock trade and all matters connected to the trade in livestock and meat. Now I go straight to the first component, that is livestock marketing infrastructure development. The following storage facilities were rehabilitated to meet national food safety standards. In Gunjur, a new slab was constructed with a fence. Some also benefited from rehabilitation works, Paraphilia likewise. Aboko Kasu Farm, a new slab has been constructed at that site. Tanjambretu was refurbished. The Kama also benefited from some works. Rehabilitation works were also carried out at the Aboko Livestock Show ground, the main store, and Gelma was tasked to provide progress reports on the renovation of the Central Abattoir, which is a Gambia government-funded project.
But we must thank everybody, and we hope that the spirit of partnership, because that's what I believe, partnership, must continue, and we consult and move forward. I must say big thank you to my whole team and the Bean project, Bean the Extension Space generally, and the departments. PS, I would like to honorably give you the floor, and thank you for thinking up front. You have the floor to give the official closing remarks. Thank you, PS.
But that said, DG, first of all, I think I want to return the thanks and gratitude to the Honorable Minister. This was her idea. Ablai Ture will attest to it. Myself and Ablai went to her office said to take leave, said, okay, the projects are going to have a conclave. She said, no. She said, but the timing is short. She said, I don't care, even if just one day between us, inform all the stakeholders, whoever can make it out there, including myself, I'll go out there. She went up to the president to take permission from him and said, I want to go and join my family. We are having a retreat. So let's give a round of applause to our honorable minister for this good thought. And so that said, we are going to continue on this spirit. I think like what some of you were saying here, let's look at each other in the eyes and tell the bitter truth. There is nothing wrong with it. Yesterday I was telling people, when they say, oh, I said, no, please leave people to vent out. But please, let's leave the camps aside. Let's leave the baggage behind us. Every single body here has an axe to grind with the other. But if we're going to carry that baggage, we will get nowhere. I think the President of the Republic has set us a good example as far as that is concerned. Let us make sure we leave the baggage behind and work together. And that is what is going to make us achieve. Otherwise, I don't care how many policy documents we put together, how many strategic documents we put together, it's all going to collect dust, because there will not be that spirit of commitment and togetherness to realize our common objectives. And so that is going to be the number one. My doors are open, like I said. No dictatorial tendencies as far as I'm concerned. The last week of December, when NARI came to the minister with their board of directors, they said, we have not been given our subvention. I said, Demba Jallo, don't go anywhere with your finance. And because of that spirit, in one day, we were able to cough out $1.6 million for NARI, which they had never experienced. Now this is the spirit. I told DOA yesterday, I said, regards to this motorcycle business, they gave us as a temporary solution here. I said, if you cannot charge anything under a vehicle in your department, come to me ministry, I will charge it under one of my vehicles to make sure that the motorcycles are all repaired. That is the spirit that is going to continue. So if you see millions of dollars allocated to the Ministry of Agriculture and you think this is just for administration, no. What is the essence of administration without the field implementation? Know that you can access those funds just like DPS FNA, just like DPS PNP, just like PS and like minister. I guarantee you that. This is the spirit I want us to engender. Most of us here have spent all our life in agriculture. Some have retired. We have them amongst us. They proudly came back and worked with us. Please, we have no other career in this country that we will do that people will know us better than agriculture. So our legacy as Gambians is going to be a legacy that is going to be painted agriculture. So we might as well leave a proud and good legacy behind. On that note, I would like to declare this conclave workshop officially closed. Thank you very much.